It's like, how much does the history of this rivalry and the fact that this was the last game at Goodison add to the intensity of the match?
Well, just imagine a stadium that's steeped in over a century of shared history and a place where generations of fans have witnessed, triumphs and heartbreaks.
Right.
So, this wasn't just a football match. It was the closing chapter of a story that's deeply woven into the fabric of the city itself.
Yeah.
The weight of that legacy was palpable.
Wow, that's a powerful way to put it.
Yeah.
So going into this historic match, where did each team stand?
Well, Liverpool, under Arne Slot, were at the top of the Premier League table.
Right.
Their sights were set on another title, and a win would really solidify their dominance and put pressure on their closest rivals, Arsenal.
So they were looking to extend their lead even further.
Exactly.
And Everton,
They
were definitely the underdogs in this one, right?
Absolutely. They were in a rebuilding phase under the recently returned David Moyes.
Okay.
And this match, being the final one at Goodison, presented a chance for them to really rally, defy the odds, create a moment for their fans that would be etched in their memory forever.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So let's get into the game itself. Everton drew first blood early on. Beto scored in the 11th minute a beautiful goal from a free kick, beating the offside trap. Can you explain what that means for those of us who aren't football experts?
Sure. An offside trap is a defensive tactic where the defending team tries to catch an attacking player offside by moving forward in unison and putting him in an illegal position to receive the ball. So Beto timed his run perfectly, outsmarting Liverpool's defense to receive the ball and score.
So it's kind of a risky play for the defense?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, so very clever play by Beto. But Liverpool didn't stay behind for long, did they?
No, they equalized quickly through Alexis McAllister just 5 minutes after Beto's goal.
Oh, wow.
And here's a fascinating twist. This goal wouldn't have happened if the match had been played on its original date.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that's interesting. Tell me more about that.
Well, the match was initially scheduled in December, but got postponed due to Storm Darragh.
Oh, right.
Had it been played, then McAllister would have been serving a suspension for accumulated yellow cards.
Oh, wow.
So the postponement inadvertently benefited Liverpool.
So a little bit of luck involved there for Liverpool. It really highlights how unpredictable football can be even off the pitch.
Absolutely. And speaking of unpredictability, this match had plenty more in store. The score remained level. The tension ratcheted up as the game progressed. And then in the closing stages, it seemed like Liverpool had sealed the victory with a goal from, you guessed it, Mo Salah.
Of course, Mo Salah, the man, was practically a goal-scoring machine that season. But was Everton just going to roll over and accept defeat, especially in the final match at Goodison?
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
Okay.
But remember what we said about the weight of history and the desire to create a lasting memory.
Yeah.
Everton, despite being the underdogs, weren't about to let this match slip away without a fight.
And they didn't. James Tarkowski scored an incredible equalizer for Everton in the 97th minute, literally in the dying seconds of the game.
Yeah.
That must have been absolute pandemonium at Goodison.
Oh, as the place erupted. Everton fans were in a state of euphoria, while Liverpool supporters were just stunned.
Yeah, I bet.
Talk about a dramatic finish.
Wow.
And Tarkowski's goal wasn't the only thing that made this match unforgettable.
Right, you're talking about the post-match chaos? I read about that. It sounded like things got pretty heated.
Heated is an understatement.
Oh, wow.
It started with a mass confrontation on the pitch. Abdoulaye Doucouré for Everton and Curtis Jones for Liverpool both received red cards.
Okay.
And then, believe it or not, things escalated even further when Liverpool's manager, Arne Slot, and his assistant were also given their marching orders.
Wait, even the managers got sent off? What happened?
Apparently, there was a lot of pushing and shoving, some heated exchanges.
Yeah.
It was really a raw display of passion, maybe even a bit too raw.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like a flashback to the old school derbies.
Right.
Full of grit and intensity.
So this wasn't just a display of physicality. It was a reflection of that really deep-seated rivalry between these two clubs.
Exactly. You could feel the history, the tension, the years of competition all kind of bubbling over.
Yeah.
Even David Moyes, Everton's manager, described it as a throwback kind of game.
It's interesting that he acknowledged the craziness, but also praised his team's fighting spirit, especially Tarkowski's incredible last-minute goal. He even mentioned that they had to adapt their tactics to suit the stadium in order to compete with such a dominant Liverpool side.
That comment about adapting to the stadium is intriguing.
Yeah.
What do you think he meant by that?
I think he was referring to using the atmosphere and the energy of the home crowd to their advantage.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe even playing a more defensive, gritty style that really disrupted Liverpool's flow.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Goodison Park, with its tight pitch and passionate fans, has always been a challenging place for visiting teams.
Right.
So Moyes, knowing this was the final derby at Goodison, likely wanted to leverage that home field advantage to the fullest.
And it worked. They secured a draw against a team that was heavily favored to win.
They did. And while a draw wasn't a victory, it felt like a win for Everton, especially in that context.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's move beyond the drama of the match itself. What are the wider implications of this result?
Okay.
Where does it leave both teams?
Well, for Liverpool, the draw did extend their lead at the top of the Premier League to 7 points, keeping Arsenal at bay.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the decisive victory they were hoping for.
Right. But we can't ignore Salah's performance either.
Oh, of course not.
He set a new Premier League record for goal involvements in away games, an incredible 22 goals and assists in just 13 matches.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It is, and it kind of raises an interesting question.
Yeah.
Was this record simply a testament to Salah's individual brilliance, or did it reveal a potential tactical reliance on him?
Oh, okay.
Something that, future opponents could exploit.
Right.
Perhaps Liverpool were becoming too predictable in their attacking approach.
That's a good point. What about Everton? What does this match tell us about their future under Moyes?
Well, this match showed that Everton, despite being in a transitional phase,
Right.
have the heart and the grit to compete with the best.
Right.
They showed resilience, tactical awareness, and a connection with their home crowd,
Yeah.
which could be crucial as they move forward.
I think it's interesting how this match really encapsulates the history of this rivalry at Goodison Park. Well over the 120 Merseyside derbies played at Goodison, both Everton and Liverpool won 41 games, each with 38 draws.
Wow.
A perfectly balanced rivalry right down to the last match.
That's an incredible statistic.
Yeah.
It speaks volumes about the competitiveness and the unpredictability of this rivalry.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, how will the dynamics change with Everton moving to their new stadium?
Yeah, it really is a big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Goodison Park was almost a character in itself,
Well-
steeped in history and radiating that raw, old-school football atmosphere. Can a brand new stadium, no matter how modern or impressive, truly replicate that?
Well, it'll be a challenge for sure. Goodison's unique character,
Yeah.
like its tight pitch and passionate crowd, played a part in shaping the dynamics of this rivalry.
Right.
So Everton will need to forge a new identity in their new home, and that might impact the way they approach these matches against Liverpool.
It makes me wonder if the move could actually tilt the balance of power in this rivalry. I mean, we've seen how home advantage can really influence results.
Yeah.
And with a fresh start in a new stadium, maybe Everton will finally find a way to break that historical deadlock.
It's definitely possible. Change can be a catalyst for growth and evolution.
Yeah.
Maybe Everton will thrive in their new environment,
Right.
develop new tactics and a new psychological approach to their matches against Liverpool.
And who knows, maybe this move will spark, the creation of new traditions, new heroes, and a whole new chapter in this really storied rivalry.
Yeah.
It's almost like the end of an era and the beginning of something completely unknown.
Exactly. And that's what makes this rivalry so fascinating.
Yeah.
It's constantly evolving, full of passion, drama, and unpredictability.
Right.
So while that final match at Goodison Park marked the end of a chapter, it also opened the door to a future full of exciting possibilities.
Absolutely. Well, it's been incredible exploring this match and the Everton-Liverpool rivalry with you. Yeah. It's clearly about so much more than just the game itself. It's about history, identity, passion, and the evolution of a city, its clubs, and its people.
Well said. And as we wrap up our deep dive, I think the question that lingers is this.
Okay.
How will the spirit of Goodison Park and the legacy of this perfectly balanced rivalry shape the future of the Merseyside Derby?
That's a great question.
Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, we'll be watching.
Yeah.
Eagerly anticipating the next chapter in this captivating story.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
My pleasure.